All right, Canes fans, Peter Ariz here, bringing you another edition of the Canes Insight podcast. Very excited about this guest tonight, Shekai Mills-Knight. Really intriguing story. Originally from Canada, playing football in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the Baylor School. And this is a guy whose recruitment is really blowing up as of late. Really intriguing physical skill set, 6'2", 215, track speed, track background in his family as well. So excited for you guys to get to know him a little bit as well. But before that, wanted to thank our friends at the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys, sponsoring this podcast. The law offices of Anajar and Levine brings years of experience successfully representing Florida clients in personal injury cases. They know how an unexpected accident can derail your life and finances, and their dedicated legal team will help you get the monetary compensation you deserve. Contact them at 888-573-6141 or 800-747-FREE. Visit them online at anajarlevine.com. Take back control of your life. And also, our good friends at Closure Investigative Agency, of course, the private investigation firm here in Florida. This segment is brought to you by them. Is your ex-partner failing to pay child support? You deserve better. Let Closure Investigative Agency help you. Let's go get your money. Background checks, cheating spouses, corporate investigations, insurance investigations, legal investigations, employee theft investigations, domestic services, missing persons, surveillance services, and more. Closure Investigative Agency. Contact them at 561-437-76080 or info@ciagency.net. 5-star Google rated, and the entire state of Florida is covered. Coming up next on the Canes Insight podcast, Shekai Mills-Knight, running back out of the Baylor School. All right, Canes fans and college football fans across the country, excited about this guest joining the show right now, Shekai Mills-Knight, out of the Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee, originally out of Canada. Excited to get to know you a little bit tonight, Shekai, and your story, man. It's very interesting one, but your recruitment the last few weeks, man, has really taken off with some of these offers you've gotten. You see that smile on his face right there, and no, I mean it's really amazing to see some of these offers that have come in recently for you, man. I know Tennessee offered a while ago, but Ole Miss, Auburn, Miami, Florida, I mean, you name it. The best of the best are coming after you now. So first of all, man, thank you for joining the show tonight, and appreciate your time.
No problem.
So Shekai, man, just talk to me about this process and how quickly it's come, man, and how you've kind of handled it. I know you've recently switched schools as well. So it seems like a lot's going on for you right now. Just walk me through how you're kind of handling all of it.
So my recruitment started blowing up like about this month, or no, about as soon as our season got done. So 2 months ago, and right now I'm really going up, as you said. I'm going crazy right now, but I'm taking it slow. I'm not letting it get to my head or anything like that. And there's no rush to commit anytime soon. I'm just trying to visit everywhere I can, and I'm enjoying the process.
As you should be, man, for sure. I mean, getting a little bit into your story and your roots originally. I mean, talk to us about your journey down to Tennessee now, when you started playing football, and kind of like your decision to move down to the States. You know, your decision with your family that you guys made.
So I started playing football when I was 7 years old. My best friend at the time was recruiting for his local football team, and I was like, his coach told him to find some big kids, and I was like the biggest fourth grader out there. So he asked me to give it a shot. I asked my parents. My mom didn't want me to play. She was like scared I'd get killed because I was like, that's a dangerous sport. It was known as dangerous sport, football. And my dad told her to give me a shot, and I fell in love with it, and I've been in love with it ever since. And last year, I got ranked number one running back in Quebec, and I put my stuff out on Twitter, and the Baylor school found me. I got in contact with Coach Kimry. He told me to come visit, and I knew their senior running back was leaving, and I was in a good environment, and I knew that Baylor school got crazy recognition, so I took a shot. I came down here in July. I came down here July 11th for the summer camp. I was injured at the time. I had just uh, fractured my ankle, and I was only good after week 8. But I got right back to it. I was doing my rehab every day, and now we're here.
Yeah. I got one more question for you real quick before I throw it to you, Brad. Your routine, man, at the Baylor school,
Yeah.
before we were setting this up, we had to move it back a little bit for good reason, though, because what were you doing? You were getting extra work in on the field.
Yes,
You were
sir.
getting your meal in, and then you had some other business to attend to as well. So
That's
just
right.
talk to me about that structured environment that you're in over there and how it's helping
Yeah.
take your game to the next level.
The Baylor school it's an amazing environment. You're around people surrounded with the same goal as you. Everything's set, bam, you got school, then after school you either got your workout or your extra sport. I'm in track, and we have an additional workout for the football guys from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I have track after school Tuesday and Thursday. So you're really busy, and you're constantly working, which I love. I love the grind. And after you get out of your workout or your second sport, you get to the dining hall, you eat, you're able to socialize with your friends, and then you're free after that. And that's when I like to call my coaches and connect with them and stuff.
Shekai, man, before we break down your film and look a little bit about your game, man, when I think about you in particular, not only on the field but off the field, just speaking to you and just learning a little bit more about you, man, the word sacrifice and transition comes to mind just because, like you mentioned before, your parents sacrificing, coming from Jamaica to Canada, then you going from Canada to Tennessee, those transitions that you're making. And then also along the way, you transition from a wide receiver to a running back, at times as well. When you're able to turn on your tape, you're able to see how comfortable you are when the ball's in the air, just like when the ball is underneath your arm going through those tackles. Talk about a little bit about the transition of your game on and off the field and how it's kind of helped you and propelled you to pretty much any obstacle that has came your way so far.
Man, so I used to play receiver, and it really helped translate. I'm able to catch now as a running back. That translated my game as well, and I feel I play linebacker as well. I'm a really versatile player, and I run track too. So just as an athlete, I feel like it's really important to be able to do multiple things. Especially at my
Absolutely.
size.
Absolutely, man.
It's a big factor in my recruitment.
You talk about your measurables and your size, right? You're currently at 6'2", 215 pounds. When you look at our current running back room, Shekai, we only have one or two guys that kind of fit the mold that you kind of bring to the table. And when I think of someone of your measurables and what you bring to the table, I think of someone like Mark Fletcher, who's currently in our running back room, who as a true freshman came in and made a direct impact, who has similar, type of role model game plays like a Derrick Henry and a Marshawn Lynch, who is a role model of a game of someone like yourself, right? Talk a little bit about what you have seen so far from Miami as far as a running back room. I know they are a team that wasn't really on your radar until Coach Merritt became a running backs coach for Miami. So just talk about what you know as far as a Miami as a program and how they produce running backs.
One thing I can say for sure is that I know the coaching staff is tight. They show a lot of love. Miami, as soon as I got in contact with them, their recruiting coordinator, head coach, receivers coach, they're all showing love, which is important, I find. And I know they make some dogs at running back, and it looks like a great environment to be in school at. And I love to be a part of what they got going on.
Shekai, as we're watching some of your clips here, just explain to me how you would describe your running style. Obviously, you're 6'2", 215, run track. So that track, it's showing here on display. And again, coming back from that fractured ankle as well.
Yeah.
So just talk to me about how you would describe your running style and, as Brad was alluding to, some of the running backs that you kind of watch and emulate your game after.
Yeah, so like I said, I like to call myself a versatile back because I find I can outspeed guys, especially when I get through that first level. I like to outspeed guys. I can run through guys. I can run over guys. I can catch. So I feel like my game, I like to model my game off of guys like Eddie George and Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch is my favorite running back. I run extremely hard. Like, I run hard, and like you see in the tape, I fall forward all the time. Like, it's just muscle memory for me to fall forward and fight for extra yards.
I like the Eddie George one, man. That's I feel like that was a little bit before your time, but
Yeah,
listen, YouTube's a great thing, huh?
Yeah, he actually my last offer was from Tennessee State, where he's head coach.
Okay, well that's a cool one, man. Yeah, I mean that's got to be. I'm sure he told you himself, man. Go pull up the tape on me, but you were probably already aware of it.
Yeah.
Getting into your recruitment a little bit, man. We talked about how you've blown up, right? Just talk to us about some of the things that you would consider, very important that you're really trying to break down in terms of pros and cons, and kind of when you do assess and break down these schools, what the key points and conversations you have with these coaches are.
Honestly, it's just how it did develop me as a man and as a player, because it's not just about football and the environment, like what they bring to the table. Just like if I get that gut feeling when I visit, all that good stuff. The pros, the cons, I'm not really sure, honestly. Like, until I visit, it's really like I find the visit is the most important part. That, like,
Right.
you get to see how they coach, you get to see like what type of guy they are, and like it's really, because coaches, they'll tell you what you want to hear, but it's a different thing when they can back it up. You can pull out the records, you see how they coach. So it's really about just getting out there and seeing it for myself.
And in terms of visits that you have lined up, not just officials. I know a lot of guys are starting to do, set up the officials, but unofficials as well. Anything that you have lined up now?
Yeah, I'm actually going out to see the Gators on Thursday.
Okay.
And my spring break is from March 22nd to April 1st. I'm planning on going to see Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State, and Liberty.
Got it. Last question for me, and I'll throw it back to you, Brad. We talked about Miami, and we mentioned how Coach Merritt offered you pretty much right away when he came in here, replacing the former running back coach, Tim Harris. Just talk about your relationship you've been building with him, and any plans to potentially get down to Miami as well.
Yeah, I actually just got off the phone with Coach Merritt not too long ago. He was telling me about the first practice y'all just had, but from the moment like we connected, I really liked him because he's a man of God, just like me. I grew up in church, and it was important to me that like he loves God like I do, and I could tell he's a great dude. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he coaches.
I actually have one more thing, Brad. Yeah. So you said your parents are Jamaican, Shekai.
Correct.
So has Coach Merritt been selling you on the Jamaican food in South Florida? That's the real question.
Man, I know about it already. Man. You don't even gotta tell me. I know Florida. I got friends down there, and they be telling me like it's the real deal.
There you go. So I don't know. I'm just saying that might be a built-in sell for Miami there for sure.
Yeah.
But what I want to talk about is just talk a little bit about, kind of the weight you carry on your shoulders. You being, from originally from Canada, going to Tennessee. And, when you pull up the offer list that you have, you could pretty much pick any logo, that is relevant in college football. And you pretty much have that offer. But then when you go to the profile, it's like you're not ranked. So talk a little bit about why, the momentum and just the stuff that you carry on your shoulders in order to just have the self-gratitude to keep pushing, to want to, show the world what you have. Because
Honestly,
like we've been talking about, you've been blowing up here lately.
yeah. So I came down here like I told myself I gotta represent for Canada, like, cause there's a lot of like talk going on that like Canadian football and American football is like different. Canadians can't ball, so I came down here with the goal of like defeating that standard, and I just had a lot to prove. Like I know I was a baller since like I knew I was a baller since I was young, so I knew I had to make it out. I'm the um, first person in my family to go D1 in football. So uh, I'm not worried about all the rankings. I know they'll come in eventually. So it's really just like about me getting better and just proving everybody wrong.
That's
Like my
amazing.
teachers would tell me back in school, like what I want to do. And when I told them I want to go play pro football, they'd be like, "Be realistic." So now I'm showing them that like anything you put your mind to, you can do.
Hey, man, and one thing about the University of Miami, we have an eye of talent for Canadian football players. We had a starting
Yeah.
center on our national football team back in '01 in Brett Romberg. We got a current player on our team in Isaiah Thomas, who's originally from Canada. And we got a couple guys, not just you, but we have another guy as well that we're recruiting in the 2025 class that's originally from Canada as well. So, I mean, we definitely look on that side of the border, man. So, someone like yourself, man, you have a lot of talent to bring to the table. One last question for you before I swing it back to Pete and see if he's got anything before we get you out of here, man. One question I ask every recruit on this show, man. When you hear the word dog, what comes to mind?
Just like that person that has a work ethic, that person that'll fight for the extra yard, that person that has a winning mentality, and he's a leader, and he's just a cold football player.
I have
Love it, bro.
one more thing for you, Shekai, before you're out of here. And I asked this to all the guys we bring on. Any other sports that you played growing up? Because you started football pretty early.
Yeah.
But what else did you play?
I started off in soccer, actually. I was a soccer player.
You're a reggae boy?
Yeah.
There you go.
I first sport was soccer. Actually, my first sport was swimming, and then soccer, and then I was in basketball, and then I transitioned to football and track, football and track.
And when did you give anything? I mean, how long were you playing all these sports for when you played football?
So I was in swimming from like 5 years old to 7 years old, and then I started playing soccer from 7 years old to 8 years old, where I picked up football. But I was playing football and basketball at the same time, and then I picked up track in 7th grade.
There you go. It seems like football was what you tried everything, but football was what you really loved. So
Fun fact: my uncle actually coached Usain Bolt.
wow.
Yeah, that's my mom's brother.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he was on the Jamaican national team coaching staff.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I went to his house and like I got to see like Coach of the Year award trophy, like real gold. Wow. It was cool.
Wow,
pretty awesome. Yeah.
So what do you? I mean, listen, track wise, I know you run track. What are the numbers looking like right now?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to get our school record this year, which is 10.65. So I'm trying to run 10.65 this year in the 100-meter.
You can't name drop Usain Bolt, and your uncle can't have coached him, and you not have a little bit of that rub off on you, man. So
exactly.
No, man, awesome talking to you and getting to know you tonight, Shekai. Appreciate your time once again, and keep up the good work up there. I should say, because we're down here in Florida, up there at the Baylor School, man. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man. Have a good night.